So we have a 12-year-old boy. There's some pictures surfaced online that he had his teeth knocked out, not by another kid that he got into a fight with at his age, but a grown Neanderthal. Now I want you to hear the story and how this Neanderthal did not get arrested. That's pretty typical.
12-year-old Malachi and his friends say they were on their way home from school when a man began yelling at them.
He was screaming at us, cursing at us, calling us the N-word. And then he came down into the middle of his yard, and I was like, who are you talking to? Then he came down to the sidewalk and said, come in arm's length, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
This is what he says his face looked like after the incident.
When I realized my teeth were dangling in my mouth, it was kind of shocking. I didn't know what was going on.
It was like a nightmare. I just knew I had to get there, and I had to get there fast.
The boy's parents are upset because the man who did this to Malachi was not arrested.
Where is it okay for an adult to take the law into his own hands and to strike a kid hard enough to knock out his teeth? Where is that acceptable? In what country is that acceptable?
According to this incident report, the man who punched Malachi was 27-year-old Vincent Cervallo.
Originally, this is where the altercation took place, right here.
He spoke to Four in Your Corner to tell his side of the story.
I told them that they all need to back off, and if they come on my property, I'm going to defend myself. And they were just like, you won't hit us, you won't hit us, and they started to surround me.
He says it all started when he yelled at the kids to get out of the road because they were blocking traffic. This cell phone video captures the moments after Malachi was punched. Vincent says he acted in self-defense.
He touched me, and I let my hand out, and I ended up hitting him. It was not my intention to hit anybody that hard. It was not my intention to knock teeth out. It was not my intention to do harm or just cause any kind of trouble.
Vincent says he never expected things to escalate to violence, and now he's pressing charges against 12-year-old Malachi for assault, something the teen and his parents can't understand.
He's not going to jail, and nothing's happening to him, and he's basically getting away with it right now.
I want the man in jail.
Before we get started with the commentary, we'll reach out to our supporters and viewers to help us reach our goal on Patreon of 3,000 members for a minimum of $2 and $5 a month. I want to thank every person that has joined us there and help us to continue to do the platform. We would not be able to do this without you. Now, the Neanderthal, why didn't he say when he was talking to this woman that he called them N-words? Why didn't he say that? Why is it his job to say get out of the street, allegedly? If it was that big of an issue, don't you think the police would have dealt with those kids? He's walking around saying, well, I had to defend myself. The Neanderthals is the most cowardice group of males, I don't even want to say men, males in the world. They always pick on children, or if they're going to engage a man, they got to have a weapon, or if they don't have a weapon, they got to have 5, 6 of them to engage you. They pick on women. They're always choosing, you notice, children to mess with that are males, black teenage boys. If there were 2 black men, we all know he wouldn't have said a word to them. He'd have went on by his Neanderthal business. But he thought, I can mess with these 2 kids. I have the advantage. I'm an adult. I can outpower them. I can be a white supremacist as well. And I know the cops not going to do me nothing because they think like me. And when the cops show up, they're going to believe me over 2 black kids any day. So it's a win-win situation for him. So you heard that supposedly he wants to press charges. Now, as you heard, people saw what he did online, and all of a sudden the cops are protecting him and escorting him. Yet he the one punching children. I tell you what, couldn't be my son. It couldn't be mine. That's the only thing I'm going to say with the situation, because I'm just too old school for that. And I believe one thing you don't do is put your hands on nobody's children. None at all. And any parent have a right to defend their children. And he knew what kind of boys that was that he was assessing, because there'd have been some thuggish type of boys. He wouldn't even told them nothing either, because they'd have put something on him. Trust me, anytime they engage black people, it's always going to be where they have the advantage. Just remember that, because they just cowardice as hell. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.